Welcome to Yolk Boys. Today we're making salt-cured egg yolks. Let's get it.
To start off these salt-cured egg yolks, we're using some coarse kosher salt. And we're just going to get a nice thick layer, pour it in the bottom of our container here. That way we can make a little resting bed for these eggs.
Tony Montana.
Take your eggs or a spoon or whatever you'd like and just make some little divots in this salt bed. That way the yolks sit in there like a little bowl. Next, we're going to get those yolks separated from the whites. I just like to use my fingers for this. Do it whichever way you'd like. Get some of that excess white stuff off of there if you can. And we're just going to drop these into their little divots. Just place them right there in their little bowls, and we'll get them covered up next with salt. Just make sure these things get completely covered. That way they're in contact with salt all around. And they'll look like little snow bunnies hidden under the snow. Seal up your container, and we're going to throw that in the fridge for a week. Once we're back after a week, we're going to open this thing up and go fishing for these little yolks. They should look like this, semi-hard, covered in salt still. They're going to have a gummy-like texture to them, similar to a gummy bear if they're fully cured.
Gummy. Kind of squishy.
And we're going to give these a good rinse under the water just to get that excess salt off the outside. They should look like this after that. And onto a wire rack. We're going to throw these in the oven at a low temp, about 200 to 225, just for about an hour or two until they're nice and dry. We don't want to cook these. There's our beautiful ribeye steak.
Ribeye steak. We're going to pan sear it and then top it off with a little bit of cured egg yolk. Let's get it.
And you can do this on anything you want. I love ribeye steak. That's my favorite. And I'm very simple. I like salt and pepper. We're also going to use some butter, garlic, and herbs. Just get this thing evenly coated with a little bit of oil.
Hot pan.
Get that cast iron ripping hot, and we're going to lay that steak down to form a nice crust. Get some garlic cloves out of their little paper exterior. We're going to cut up some butter here. And once that steak's ready to flip, that crust looks absolutely beautiful. We're going to drop in our butter. And we're going to throw in some garlic. And then lastly, our herbs. I'm using rosemary and thyme here. Give that steak a good basting with that herby garlic butter. And once your steak hits about 125 internal temp, we're going to pull it off for its rest. That looks absolutely delicious. I'm going to throw my garlic and herbs on top of here, and we're going to let this thing sit for a minimum of 5 minutes with a little bit of that butter. Here's our cured egg yolks. They're nice and dry and bouncy. I ate this thing on its own, and it was much too salty, but it should be good on a steak. After that steak is nice and rested, we're going to slice it up. Hopefully it has a nice pink, reddish hue inside and not gray. Make it look all pretty. And with our microplane, we're going to just grate this cured egg yolk right on top of that steak. We're going to give it a nice, even coat. Kind of looks like cheese. And this is what it should look like after it's done. You got that beautiful cured egg yolk grated on top of it.
Yolks up.
And I can't lie, this was absolutely delicious.
It really does bring that umami, like MSG type flavor to this steak that you wouldn't normally get with just regular sea salt. Incredible. No wonder chefs use this as their secret ingredient in their restaurants. Try these salt-cured egg yolks on your next steak. Woo!